Welcome to my Days of Our Lives official channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. While Nicole dreams of Eric, EJ throws Sloan a massive curveball at the sanitarium. Johnny hovers over Chanel as they stay to see the specialist EJ flew in. They see and worried Holly heading to the elevator. When Johnny inquires, she says she's fine and will see them at the house. She turns and textbooks Tate. In her office, Paulina offers Melinda her job back as DA. Melinda's tempted, but she worries about EJ's wrath. Paulina assures her she has her reverse. As long as Melinda's hands are clean, he can't touch her. Melinda looks concerned. EJ retreats to the living room upon seeing Nicole kissing Eric in the foyer. He returns after Eric pulls down, and Nicole collects herself. They explain Nicole had a huge fight with Holly, which is why she's drunk, and Eric brought her home. EJ calmly thanks Eric for coming to his woman's deliverance. Eric leaves, and Nicole apologizes to EJ. He assures her he'll take care of her, but glowers as they clinch. In the Demare foyer, Nicole pulls Eric near. He looks taken by surprise. EJ's reflection appears in the glass behind them. Further, why Katy Perry left American Idol at the sanitarium, Johnny lashes out of a baggie of oyster crackers for Chanel when she feels queasy. He also tells her he put his capsule online for jobs with original film companies. A nanny comes to get them, and they meet with the specialist off-screen. After, the newlyweds bandy how everything looks good so far, but they can't do any antenatal tests until 11 weeks. For now, it'll be a lot of hoping and fussing. Chanel would do anything to make sure their child is okay. So, as frenetic as she's at Paulina, part of her gets why she did what she did. When Holly meets Tate in the domain, she recounts her unattractive fight with Nicole. He consoles her. Leo spies them through the backwoods as they kiss. He takes Prince with his phone that rings, waking the teens to his presence. They supplicate Leo not to write about them in his Lady Whistleblower column. Despite not having anything differently to write about, Leo agrees, because he's working on being a better person. He's also nursing a broken heart and is a sucker for love. He deletes the Prince. Eric comes home to Sloan with carry-out. He has to go back out for work, however, since he didn't get the shots he demanded. When she snarks about him working with Nicole, he assures her he'll be alone, but also, they're just musketeers. Sloan and Jude are his now and ever. Still, he doesn't look so convinced as they clinch. After they eat the chili tykes, Sloan notes she was hoping Eric was bringing home food from the bistro. He reminds her they're on a budget thanks to Leo. Plus, he's hoping they can move into a house soon. She gets agitated over his dream of a white sentry hedge for them. She wants to add tykes and perhaps indeed a stock for Jude. She allowed. She no way have any of this and thanks him for giving it to her. Sitting on their settee, Eric and Sloan hypercritically smile at each other in the Demare living room. Nicole tells EJ the awful effects Holly said to her about her dead babies. EJ smothers, but Nicole prodigies if she's right. EJ insists Nicole is a awful mama. Nicole is thankful to Eric for chancing her at small bar, because bad choices can be made while drinking. EJ asks if she did commodity she regrets. She says no. EJ pointedly says it would have been unfortunate if she had. Nicole tears up over the numerous effects she squinched up. She thinks losing their baby is the world's way of chastising her for the pain she caused. EJ's face twitches as he holds her. After Sloan puts Jude to bed in another room, Eric shows her the prints he took of the three of them. They phenomenon over their beautiful family. Latterly, Sloan sings to Jude, who's now in a playpen in the living room. Eric intimately textbooks Nicole to check on her and also leaves for work. Further the plot hole in EJ's plot, Eric hypercritically gazes at Sloan, who looks at the reverse of his camera. Further casting could mean further time at Sweet Bits in Paulina's office. Melinda realizes she might be safer against EJ as the DA, so she accepts the job. Paulina is pleased, especially since her image has been spoiled by the radioactive business. Melinda empathizes. She'd give anything to do commodity reckless if it meant her Haley were still there. They bond over giving up a child to keep them safe. Paulina invites her out to regale. At the sanitarium, Chanel and Johnny get agitated over their Christmas due date. Chanel suggests Noel or Noel for a name. Latterly, Johnny addresses on the phone with the head of a plant. He needs to talk to his woman about the offer, and he'll get back to them. Still, when Chanel returns to him, he doesn't say anything about the job. Rather, Johnny asks her out for a regale date. At the bistro, Melinda raises a red wine glass to Paulina's soda pop. Johnny and Chanel enter the bistro, where Paulina and Melinda are dining. Paulina swells to her son, who decides she's more in the mood for the cantina. Paulina's smile fades as Chanel leaves. As EJ tucks Nicole into bed, he sees the textbook from Eric and leaves their bedroom. As Nicole sleeps, she dreams of telling Eric she loves him. However, everything would be so different if the baby had been theirs. EJ comes to Sloan's apartment. Standing over the playpen, he says, "I am then to take this baby, so Nicole and I can raise him as our own." Chanel wants to keep the baby. Is she prepared for what might lie ahead? Days of Our Lives spoilers and updates tease Chanel Dupree DiMera, Raven Bowens, tells Johnny DiMera, Carson Boatman, she wants to keep their baby. Anyhow, of what being exposed to radiation might beget, she's adamant she wouldn't terminate her gestation. But is she prepared for what might lie ahead? Days of Our Lives spoilers. They were advised the baby could have birth blights. Exposure to radiation during gestation can have serious health counteraccusations for the developing fetus. It can lead to growth restrictions, abnormalities, hindered brain function, and indeed increase the threat of cancer. The extent of these consequences varies, grounded on factors similar as the quantum of radiation, the duration of exposure, and the specific week of gestation. It could be much more serious than just birth blights affecting the baby's appearance. But Chanel formerly loves the new life growing inside her and can't face terminating that life. DOOL spoilers. Chanel and Johnny met with a specialist. Indeed, after meeting with a specialist to bandy the counter-accusations of Chanel's radiation exposure, thanks to her mama Paulina Price, Jackie Harry, Chanel still wants to keep the baby. She's hoping the brief exposure veritably beforehand in her gestation won't affect their developing fetus, and she continues to cleave to that stopgap. Of course, throughout her gestation, there will be specialized tests to make sure the baby is developing like he or she should. But they won't be tests like CAT reviews or MRI that uses radiation. They'll be standard ultrasounds, which don't show everything. Ultrasounds principally show the organs and the bones. Days of Our Lives spoilers. What if the worst happens? The specialist advised that as the baby develops, horrible effects could be discovered, effects that might beget Johnny and Chanel to have to make delicate opinions. Still, they will have to decide whether to have the gestation terminated or deal with birth, if the brain or other organs don't develop duly, and this isn't conducive to life. Chanel couldn't hear it. It was like she went into immediate denial, and who could condemn her? Obviously, they won't tell Paulina what the specialist said and advised, although the time may come when they've to if effects don't go the way they hope. Paulina formerly feels shamefaced and responsible for possible radiation damage to the baby. Indeed, though she saved Chanel's life in that snowstorm, no bone knew she was pregnant at the time.